Let's go. it text 19? It's chapter 10, text 19.
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 10, the opulences of the Absolute, text number 19. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Antate katayashyami. Divyatma vibhutaya. Pradanyata kuru shrestha. Nasyanto vishtarasya me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Antate katayashyami. Divyatma vibhutaya. Pradanyata kuru shrestha. Nastyanto vishtarasya me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Antate katayashyami. Divyatma vibhutaya. Pradanyata kuru shrestha. Nastyanto vishtarasya me.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Antate katayashyami. Divyahi atma vibhutayah. Tadayanta kuru shrestha. Nastyanto vistarasya me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Antate katayashyami. Divyahi atma vibhutayah. Tadayanta kuru shrestha. Nastyanto vistarasya me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Antate katayashyami. Divyahi atma vibhutayah. Tadayanta kuru shrestha. Nastyanto vistarasya me.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Antate katayashyami. Divyahi atma vibhutayah. Pradayanta kuru shrestha. Nastyanto vistarasya me.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Antate katayashyami. दिव्याध्यात्मविभूतयः प्रधायन्तः कुरुश्रेष्ठा नश्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Hantate Katayishyami Divyahiyatma Vibhutayaha
प्रधायन्तः कुरुश्रेष्ठा नश्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे
Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Anta, yes, te, unto you, Katayashyami, I shall speak, Divya, divine, he, certainly, Atma Vibhutaya, personal opulences, Pradayantata, which are principles, Kurushreshta, or best of the Kurus, Namaste, that is not, Anta, limit, Vistarashya, to the extent, me, my, translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead says, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent for Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is not possible to comprehend the greatness of Krishna and his opulences. The senses of the individual soul are limited and do not permit him to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs. Still, the devotees try to understand Krishna, but not on the principle that they will be able to understand Krishna fully at any specific time or in any state of life. Rather, the very topics of Krishna are so relishable that they appear to the devotees as nectar. Thus the devotees enjoy them. In discussing Krishna's opulences and his diverse energies, the pure devotees take transcendental pleasure. Therefore, they want to hear and discuss them. Krishna knows that living entities do not understand the extent of his opulences. He therefore agrees to state only the principal manifestations of his different energies. The word Pradayantaka, principle, is very important because we can understand only a few of the principal details of the Supreme Lord, for his features are unlimited. It is not possible to understand them all, and Vibhuti, as used in this verse, refers to the opulences by which he controls the whole manifestation. In the Amara Kosha dictionary, it is stated that Vibhuti indicates an exceptional opulence. The impersonalists or pantheists cannot understand the exceptional opulence of the Supreme Lord, nor the manifestation of his divine energies. Both in the material world and in the spiritual world, his energies are distributed in every variety of manifestation. Now Krishna is describing what can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus part of his variegated energy is described in this way. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chaturvedi Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manojisram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Smapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajevam Sarvaitam Savadutam Prajana Salitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitam Sja Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhine Pranami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Panevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Lord Krishna is replying to the questions of Arjuna, which was put just a couple of verses earlier. Right? Arjuna had asked Lord Krishna, he said that, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered? And then he asked again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulence. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. And so in this way, Lord Krishna was encouraged by Arjuna to describe his opulences and to describe how we can think of Krishna every moment. Right? Lord Krishna says, I will tell you of my opulence, but only of those which are prominent, for my opulence is limitless. So, Srila Prabhupada explains to us how we can never know everything about the Supreme Lord. He is far, far beyond the power of our limited mind and senses. What can we understand with our limited mind and senses? Certainly, we cannot understand everything about the Lord, but we can taste some drop of the nectar of Lord Krishna. Just like you may not know everything about the ocean, but you can go and swim in the sea a little bit, and you can taste the water, and you can get to know a little bit about the nature of the ocean. From the Just from a drop of water of the ocean, we know more about the nature of the whole ocean. So same way, we cannot understand everything about the Supreme Lord, but we can understand some things about it. We have to hear. And Lord Krishna is so kind, He is describing to us. He's going to describe anyway to us the nature of His opulences. So, the Lord is limitless. His opulences are without limit. This has to be understood, that often people make the mistake, they want to understand the Lord by their limited mind and senses. But we cannot understand the Lord, because the nature of the Lord is beyond the power of our mind and senses. What we can do is to render service to the Lord. It is said, Adashi Krishna Namadi Nabavet Griyam Indriyani Sevan Mokihi Jivado Swayam Eva Spurati Yada. The Lord cannot be understood by material senses, but He does reveal Himself when He's pleased by the service of the devotee. When we start to do service for the Lord, then the Lord is inclined to reveal something of His opulence to us. We have to attract the mercy of the Lord. And the way to attract the Lord is by loving service. The Lord is attracted to devotion where there is bhakti. The Lord reciprocates with that devotee. He does not reciprocate with the jnani or the karmi or the yogi, but He does reciprocate with the devotee, with the bhakta. And when we render service to the Lord, then the Lord becomes obliged by the loving service of His devotee. And He reciprocates by revealing some of the nature of His opulence. So we're going to hear in this chapter, Lord Krishna is going to describe some of His opulences. As it's mentioned here, only those which are prominent, because His opulences are limitless. We have no experience of limitless opulence. Everything we have is limited. Our bank balance is limited. Our life is limited. Our knowledge is limited. Everything we do is limited by our conditioned state of existence. But the Lord is unlimited. He has unlimited opulence. So He is described as Bhagavan. When Lord Krishna speaks, Srila Vyasadeva has written Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. That Lord Krishna is Bhagavan. He has all opulences, wealth, beauty, fame, knowledge, strength, and renunciation. These are the 6 opulences described by Srila Vyasadeva's father, Parashara Muni, who was also a great sage. So Lord Krishna has these opulences greater than anybody else. You may have some wealth, Bill Gates may have some wealth, somebody, some great man, whoever, so many rich men are there today. Bill Gates is not so big anymore. There are so many other men with more money. But their wealth is very limited compared to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna could have 16,108 wives, and each of his wives had a palace, and each of his wives had jewels and gold and opulence. He could support each and every one of his wives, and he had 10 sons by each of his wives. So, where is the man in the world today who can equal like that? There is no one. It's impossible, inconceivable. The opulence of the Lord. Even in Ramayana, we read about Maharaj Dasara, the great king. He had 360 wives. But that's a small number compared to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna is so powerful, his opulence is so great that he can expand himself. That he can expand himself to enjoy pastimes with each and every one of his devotees. So there is no limit to the opulence of Lord Krishna. Even as a young baby, when the Rakshasi Putana came to try to kill Krishna, Lord Krishna took out the light air of this witch, Putana. So, other yogis, they try to get power, to become great, but Lord Krishna is always God. Even from the time of his birth, he appears in the four-armed form, in the jail, in the prison house of Kamsa. But he arranged by his mystic power that his father Vasudeva could take him out of the prison and take him to Gokul, to the home of Nanda Maharaj. This is the opulence of Lord Krishna, that he is not restricted by time or place. He is limitless. There's no limit to whatever Lord Krishna wants to do. Whatever we try to do, we're limited. We cannot go beyond the material realm. But Lord Krishna, he could take Arjuna. When Arjuna was in trouble, Lord Krishna took Arjuna out of the material universe to go to the causal ocean to see Lord Mahavishnu. So he took him into the place of liberation. We cannot go there. Lord Krishna could go there by the power of his transcendental chariot. He could take Arjuna with him into the realm of liberation. And then he could come back again to Dwarka. We are limited in everything we try to do. Our efforts to enjoy the material world is very limited. We're limited by our mind and senses. But Lord Krishna, he has a divine body. His body is completely transcendental. He is not subject to the modes of material nature, and he can perform inconceivable activities. In order to understand Lord Krishna, to understand even a fraction of Lord Krishna, we have to understand that there is such a thing as Achintya Shakti. Achintya Shakti means inconceivable power. We want to understand the inconceivable powers of Lord Krishna. So they're going to be described to us in this chapter. We're going to hear about some of the powers of Lord Krishna. We can only hear about some of the powers because his powers are limitless. As there is no limit to the sea and there's no limit to space, there is no limit to the powers and opulences of Lord Krishna. We can just begin to appreciate some of the opulences of Krishna. Just like Arjuna is saying, that he is relishing the nectar of Lord Krishna more and more. And he wants to hear more and more. He desires to hear about the glories of Krishna. So we see this situation with Maharaj Parikshit when he met with Sukadeva Goswami. Maharaj Parikshit was cursed to die, and he had only 7 days remaining, but he was very eager to hear about Lord Krishna. And he approached Sukadeva Goswami, and he inquired from Sukadeva Goswami. And he asked Sukadeva Goswami, he asked him, please go on reciting. Well, actually, Sukadeva Goswami glorified Maharaj Parikshit. He said, your questions are glorious because they are in relation to Lord Krishna. So that is the nature of a devotee, that whatever they want to hear and chant and discuss, it will be in relation to Krishna. They want to hear about the opulences of Krishna. We want to taste that nectar of the opulences of Krishna. And at the same time, we have to understand that these opulences are limitless. There's no end. Just like if you look up in space, you can see there's so many stars, and you can go on through space, millions of miles, and never come to the end. But Lord Krishna, his opulences are also limitless, like that. There's no limit to his glories. We try to understand things with our limited mind and senses. Just like Bhagavad Gita, we try to understand the Bhagavad Gita. But how much can we understand? There's always more to be understood, because that is the nature of transcendental knowledge. The more you read the Bhagavad Gita, the more you realize that there's so much more to know. There's no limit to it. It's endless. We have to only try to enter into an understanding of something of the opulences of Krishna. So in this way, we understand this verse. Are there any questions?
Yes, Maharaj. How should we understand Krishna's renunciation?
What?
How should we understand Krishna's renunciation?
How can we understand Krishna?
Renunciation.
How should we understand his renunciation?
For his renunciation? Okay. How should we understand Krishna's renunciation? Well, we see how Lord Krishna is detached from the material world. Although everything is his property and it's all for his enjoyment, but still he is not attached to all of these things. He remains always undisturbed by the material energy. He doesn't become proud or arrogant. He remains very kind and loving to his devotees. And he is renounced in the sense that he could enjoy with so many of the beautiful ladies, but he was not attached to any of them. He had the most beautiful ladies in the form of the goddesses of fortune come as his wives, but at the same time he was not attached to them. And even at one point he was joking with Queen Rukmini, that he told Rukmini that actually I'm not worthy to be a husband for you, that you were meant to marry kings, but I'm just a cowherd boy, and my father doesn't have many cows. So I'm not really a fit husband for you. You should go and marry one of those kings who wanted to marry you, and I shouldn't have stolen you away from them. So in this way, Lord Krishna was showing his renunciation. Another time it happened, there was the Shamataka Jew. There was a Jew which was producing huge amounts of gold every day. So this Jew was in the company, it had been put in the possession of a person called Satrajit. And Satrajit, Lord Krishna told Satrajit that, this Jew should be given to Maharaj Ugrasena because he's the king. And this jewel is actually meant to be the property of the king. But Satrajit didn't want to give it to him. Satrajit wanted to keep it. And at one point the jewel got stolen. And Lord Krishna had to go and find the jewel and bring it back. And he gave it to Satrajit. And Satrajit wanted to give it to Krishna. But Lord Krishna said, no, I don't want it. You keep it. You keep it yourself. So Lord Krishna showed he was renounced, he was not attached. Although Satrajit wanted to give this jewel, which was producing gold every day, Lord Krishna said, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm not the king. You keep it yourself. And then ultimately Satrajit got murdered because he kept the jewel. But Lord Krishna, he was not attached. Actually what happened, Satrajit gave his daughter. He offered his daughter Satyabhama to Lord Krishna. So Satyabhama was the daughter of Satrajit, and she became one of the principal wives of Lord Krishna. So he accepted Satrajit's daughter, but he didn't take the jewel. He was not interested. He didn't want to be bothered with the jewel. So that is renunciation. He can give up the most beautiful women. He was dancing with the gopis, and sometimes he would just go away and leave them, disappear from them. So that is his renunciation. He was born, he appeared in Mathura as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, but he renounced and he went to Vrindavan to be in the home of Nanda Maharaj in the village, rather than be in the opulent city Mathura. He went to the village of Vrindavan to live with the cowherd people. That is his renunciation, that he enjoys to be with the devotees. He doesn't consider the material conditions. Material opulence doesn't attract Krishna. What attracts Krishna is devotion, pure devotion, devotional love, service which is rendered without any thought of material benefit for oneself. One simply wants to give service to Krishna. So Lord Krishna is attracted by that mode. Lord Krishna is not attracted by wealth or beauty or fame. None of these things are important to Lord Krishna. But Lord Krishna is attracted where there is loving devotion. So that is his renunciation. He doesn't care about how much wealth you have, or how beautiful you are, or how famous you are, or how strong you are, but he cares about how much you have the mood of devotion, how much you're eager to give service to the Lord, without thought of anything in return. So that is the renunciation of Lord Krishna. Other people there, we're impressed when there's a lot of wealth, or somebody is very attractive, very beautiful, why can't we get captivated by these things? But Lord Krishna is renounced from all these material things. He's only interested in loving devotion. So that is renunciation. And that renunciation automatically follows where there is devotion. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Ayojita Jnana Yati Suvairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahajukam. That by application of devotional service, one automatically acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So where there is genuine devotion, there will be also transcendental knowledge and also renunciation. Renunciation will awaken in the heart of a devotee. But the supreme renunciation is there in Lord Krishna. Although he has everything, he's not attached to anything. People in the material world, they have some opulence, they're very attached to it, they're very proud. Oh, they got a great education, we feel very proud of it. Or we're very wealthy, we're proud of our wealth. You're very strong, you're proud of that. But Lord Krishna, he is not worried about these things, he's only interested in devotion. He is renounced. He's not proud of anything. So that is renunciation.
And Maharaj, even if a person has achieved perfection, he cannot understand Krishna fully.
Yes, even one has achieved perfection, he cannot understand Krishna fully, because Krishna is limitless. Even Krishna cannot understand himself fully, because the more he understands himself, the more he expands. He's always expanding himself more and more. So he can never know himself in full. He can know himself only to some extent. So if one is perfect, and one may be a pure devotee, perfect devotee, he cannot know everything about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya told one devotee, Devananda Pandit, he said, don't ever think you've understood Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a literary incarnation of Lord Krishna. So you may be a great scholar and Pandit, but don't ever think you've understood fully the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Lord Krishna. And as Lord Krishna is without limit, so Srimad Bhagavatam is without limit. And we see, for example, the very first sloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam, His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada spoke on that verse for 30 days. He spoke on the first verse for 30 days. And he said, he's only giving an introduction to it. So every word in Srimad Bhagavatam is full of so much meaning. It's so rich, so deep. Lord Chaitanya explained the Atmarama Sloka. He was asked by Sanatana Goswami and by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. They asked him to explain the Atmarama Sloka. And Lord Chaitanya explained it in so many different ways. Every word he explained different meanings. So that's just one sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. So every word in Srimad Bhagavatam has so many meanings. It can be understood in so many different ways. In the same way, Lord Krishna is without limit. All of his wonderful qualities, pastimes are there. It is said Ananta Shesha has many thousands of hoods, and each of the hoods of Ananta Shesha, they're describing the glories of Lord Krishna since time immemorial. And they have never exhausted themselves. They continue to describe the glories of Krishna endlessly. So there is no limit to the glory of Lord Krishna. We are limited. What do we know? We can describe only a little. But the Lord is without limit. Okay. So this way we understand renunciation. Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's start. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Srila Prabhupada ki Did you take the first